Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, and glad you could attend. We are looking at more of the films that showed last month at the Northeast Wisconsin Horror Film Festival of 2019 in beautiful Oshkosh, Wisconsin at the historic Time Community Theater. Now, today we are going to take a look at a micro-budget film from director Michael Butt, which also has him in front of the camera, and we are looking at Vampire Ticks from Outer Space. Now, this is a story of a group of campers who happen to find a mysterious crate in the middle of the woods while camping, and they do what anyone would do when they find a mysterious crate. They open it, and of course they release the Vampire Ticks from Outer Space, who immediately start latching on to everybody, sucking their blood, and causing some interesting side effects. Well, we watch as a group of local residents try to survive this attack from these vampire ticks, while trying to figure out also how to dispatch them and get them off the planet before they run rampant across the countryside. This is shot on a micro budget, and they do very well within the budget they have. I really appreciate the story concept that they had in here and some of the things that they did to get creative to make it feel like the ticks were alive. You know, some creative reverse camera tricks and some other angles, as well as people fighting with the ticks, making it seem like they're being attacked. All great old school style monster film techniques, which this film is kind of a nod to those old monster films and the B monster films that we've seen, especially in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, heck, even today yet. So I appreciated their approach and what they did for the ticks to make them feel like they were an actual threat. And I did enjoy how this film started off. It starts off strong quite a bit with the characters and introduction of the ticks and that. And the ending, I thought, was very unexpected, and I appreciate the effects that they did with the film, even though it did show a bit of their budget, but I still appreciate the effort, and especially the conclusion of the storyline. It's in the middle, though, where this thing starts to get a little bogged down. Some scenes felt like they were padded, or repeated. I really felt like the storyline, the story could have been tightened up quite a bit right along with the editing, maybe made it a longer short film versus trying to make it a feature film, because you could tell some scenes were just padded, and then, as I mentioned with the editing, there are some scenes where it seems like people are waiting for action and then they're moving in. I don't know if that was meant for humor or if it was just rushed for time to try to put this film together, but just shoring up those scenes a bit so you can trim them out, I think, would have helped keep me in this film a lot more in the middle of the story. The acting in here, well, you're working on a micro budget, so you work with what you can, Michael, but working with a group of individuals who you can tell he's familiar with, who are comfortable with him, and some of them have some great acting talent in here, and other ones, maybe not quite so much, so you do have that in here too. The audio, it varies as well in the film. A little bit at times it's distracting, other times it works, and I think, again, there's some great effort and some great spirit behind this film. I think if there was maybe a little more time taken with it, it would have made a great short film. But that is just my thoughts on it. If you have seen Vampire Ticks from Outer Space, would love to hear your constructive thoughts on this independent micro-budget monster film. If you have seen it at a fest, also if you get a chance, please check out our Patreon. We got some great stuff there for some very reasonable prices. Subscribe here so you can catch all the other reviews we've got coming up for you for the films that showed at the Northeast Wisconsin Horror Film Festival. I thank you for your support, and remember, support indie horror.